Hello, what's up, my friends? My name is Josh. I'm your push coach. So excited to hang with you for another episode of your push coach. So we just came off of a big launch for our membership last week. Had close to 70 people join the Legacy Leadership University. So freaking excited! I actually taught Monday my formula on my A plus B plus C equals new customers and rank advancements formula. Just really feel like nobody's teaching the full picture anymore, right? Like everyone is so niched down, which by the way is great for sales and marketing. You want to be niched down. That's one of the things that I talked about on Monday. But here's the curse to that. When everyone needs to niche down in order to sell their product, it means that all of the advice we're getting on the internet is so niched down that nobody is giving the full picture of what it actually takes to build a business. And so what I did on Monday was really taught like the full step-by-step system to expanding your reach, getting the engagement, and closing the sales. Pretty much everyone out there is going to teach on one of those things because, again, that's how they get paid. That's how they make money, is to teach you one of those things. So I kind of broke it down for them this Monday. One of my favorite teachings to do is that A plus B plus C equals new customers. But we are about just over 30 days. 30 days, friends, from my next round of our life and performance coach certification. So we wrapped up round 9. I don't know, I guess that was about a month ago now that we wrapped it up, had the in-person graduation, retreats, and workshops, had an absolute blast. But round 10 is kicking off the last weekend of June. I'm so pumped for this. And so today I kind of wanted to teach you one of the reasons that life coaching is such a powerful tool, because, guys, it is very triggering to me as someone who really understands how the brain works and really understands what is actually happening inside the brain, to hear so much bad teaching on personal growth. And here's what I mean by this. Most of the personal growth teaching out there is really just what I would consider like forgive me, there's a lot of good people doing a lot of good things, okay? But there's a really difference between having good intentions and actually teaching what it actually is, okay? You can have good intentions and still say stupid things. There is so much, the whole personal growth movement is so much hype, so much of just a big freaking dance party that is awesome and wonderful and amazing in the moment, but it is not long lasting. Now, just to be clear, I think it's important to mix in the hype, to mix in the dance parties. It's one of the reasons I drink pre-workout before every call, because I understand that in order to hold your attention, there needs to be an element of entertainment to what I'm doing, right? But if that's all we do is just entertain, then we don't actually transform lives. And so today I want to talk to you about something called the terror barrier, okay? If you want to Google that, look it up. It's called the terror barrier, and it is a part of our brain. Okay. So I love when I'm teaching this. Obviously, most of you are listening to an audio only version of this. Usually when I'm teaching this on calls, I would have a graphic for this, but basically I want you to imagine your brain is just like a circle. Okay. It's just a real simple way. It's not actually a circle, but imagine it as a circle, and imagine there's a line through the middle separating the bottom from the top. Okay. And on the top, we've got the subconscious mind. On the bottom, we've got the conscious mind. It doesn't really matter. It's not actually where there's not an actual physical location to this, but just imagine that they're separated. Okay. And what most people don't understand is that the subconscious mind is where the permanent beliefs are stored. Okay. By permanent, I don't mean infinite. I don't mean forever. I just mean they are much harder to change. They are not going to change today or tomorrow. They will only change with a process over time. Then you have your conscious mind. And your conscious mind is literally just the part of your brain that is getting signals from the outside world. Okay. So Currently, every single person listening to this is consciously aware of something that they are doing. So because my screen is mirroring what I'm doing right now, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, you see that my thumb is up on my left hand. Why is my thumb up? I don't really know, but I'm consciously aware of it right now. Unconsciously, I'm doing a lot of other things that I didn't even notice. And I'm going to actually stop and kind of force myself to think about my body. So my feet are down on the ground right now. I wasn't thinking about that. They just went there. My shoulders are pretty good posture, Josh. Way to go. I've got pretty good posture right now, only because of how long I've been working on my posture with my chiropractor, that I'm now getting to the point where it's kind of happening unconsciously. But that actually brings up a great example. If you ever see someone with really bad posture, which I had for many, many years and still do on certain days when I'm a little more tired, my shoulders kind of naturally roll in. I get that from my dad. Okay. So no one is walking around consciously aware of their bad posture. Bad posture is something that you developed at a really young age, or maybe after an injury. Like my wife had a really bad car wreck in her early 20s. Sometimes things like that can affect ongoing posture, but it's not like anyone is sitting around going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to like roll my shoulders forward and walk around with bad posture. No one is consciously aware of that. It's a subconscious thing. And so it's actually a really great example of how our beliefs work in so many other things. So, for instance, with our business, no one is consciously going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say something really weird to this person and ramble on for 32 paragraphs so that this person thinks I'm a freaking weirdo that just word vomited all over them and never messages me back. That's not a conscious thing. That's an unconscious thing. It's you are unconsciously unsure of yourself, lacking confidence, and not sure what to say. And there's different responses to that. One person might respond to that by talking too much. Another person might respond by not talking at all. So we have these unconscious beliefs. And what's really important to understand is that these deep rooted beliefs are then protected by the terror barrier. Imagine if you were to build a castle in medieval days. If you build a castle, the very next thing you do is build a big freaking wall around the castle to keep the bad people out and the good people in. That is exactly what your brain does with its belief system. It builds a wall around those beliefs to keep the bad people out, the good people in. The only problem is your brain doesn't actually know which thoughts or beliefs are good or bad. It only holds on to the ones that happen so repetitively over and over and over and over that it assumes those are the ones you want to keep. Now, what really sucks about this is we're all raised by parents who sometimes beat us, not literally or physically, although if you grew up in the 90s, maybe, but beat into our brains these thoughts over and over and over and over. And it's not that we chose to hear them over and over. We were put into an environment where that's just what happened. And when we get something that's repeated repeated over and over and over and over, it gets buried so deep in there that it then gets this fortified wall that's trying to protect it. Now, for those of you that wake up every day, look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I'm a rock star, I'm amazing, I'm awesome, all you're doing is shooting arrows at a big freaking brick wall, and they're bouncing right off. And while it might affect the way you feel about yourself in the moment, it's not any type of long-term change. It's not what I would consider a transformation. It's just simply like putting makeup on your face. And by the way, nothing wrong with putting makeup on your face, but we all know that when you wash your face, that goes away. It was a form of a cover, right? And so what we're doing so much with our personal growth, with the ongoing dance parties and the hype and all of this, now just to be clear, again, if you enjoy that and it's just fun for you, that's fine. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing wrong about it. I'm not in any way trying to convince people to stop the positivity stuff. I just need you to understand that's not what actually transforms and changes you for the long term. The only thing that transforms you for the long term is using true coaching to dig deeper in and find out what is actually there so that we can dig it up and then put new beliefs in. As my favorite quote in the world says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. So the point of true coaching is to actually transform the beliefs, to find the ones that are deep rooted, uproot them, and then plant the seeds that we want to have there. And what most people are doing is trying to beat new beliefs into their brain because they don't understand how it works. And so what you're really doing is essentially hitting your head on a brick wall over and over and over and over, and then wondering why nothing is getting fixed. Or as I like to say, it's like putting Band-Aids on broken bones and wondering why nothing ever gets fixed. The only way to truly change your belief system, which, by the way, your beliefs drive your behaviors. So the only way to truly change your habits, your actions, your discipline, all of these things that, you got to be more disciplined. You got to have better habits. Cool. That's great. But how do you do that? You only do that by changing your beliefs. And the most powerful way to do that is through true coaching. And that, my friends, is why I'm so passionate about my certification. Not because I think everybody in the world needs a piece of paper that says they're certified, but because I think every person in the world needs to learn the tools that it takes to truly change your beliefs, as well as help other people to do the same. Because if you're trying to build a business, it is going to take a change in behavior. But you cannot change behavior without first changing beliefs. If you're trying to mentor a team or even help your customers to adopt new habits, you cannot change their behavior without changing their beliefs. And even if it looks like you have some behavior changes, almost all the time they're temporary. Come home from a big event, you're like, oh my God, I'm a rock star, I'm going to do this. And 3 weeks later, you're still the same person. And so many people are like such a yo-yo. Like their whole their habits and their action and their emotions, just a big roller coaster. And that's because they haven't actually addressed the deep-rooted beliefs that are holding them back. So if you are interested in learning more about our program, I'd love for you to go to joshcoates.com. There's a spot on the page that you can click on to join the wait list for our next round. And when you do that, you'll get a call with myself, and we just hop on a Zoom call and just chat about it, okay? I am a very, very, very zero pressure sales person. I'm very, very true to my life coaching skills when it comes to sales. Because if you push people, guess what? I know enough about the brain to know how it works. If you push someone, they go into fight or flight mode. And I don't really like trying to sell to people that are trying to punch me in the face or run away. So what I'm going to do is ask you some questions about your own beliefs, about what you're going through, give you some details about the program, and then give you a chance to just think about it and decide if it's right for you. And if that is too intimidating for you, guess what? I'm going to be hosting some free workshops over the next 30 days, just teaching more about what life coaching really is. So if you join the wait list, you'll automatically get invites to those workshops. So even if you don't want to hop on a call with me, even if you never want to have to chat with another human being, which I totally get, and you just want to jump on some of the free workshops that I'm hosting, would love to have you. So go to joshcoates.com, scroll down to the part where it says 2 ways to work with me. One of those is the life coach certification. When you opt into that, that puts you on the wait list. Early signups, we do give $1,000 off and some really cool bonuses. So I'd love for you to at least just find out more about it, see what it's all about. Life coaching really is what I call the universal leadership tool. It's not about whether or not you want to call yourself a life coach like I do. I mean, to be honest, I don't even really call myself a life coach. I call myself the push coach. It's not about whether or not you want to make a career change, okay? Even though it gives you the ability to do that if you wanted to, most of the people that do our certification are doing it simply to learn the skills for themselves and for the people that they're leading. So I love you so much. I believe in you so much. Please remember that everything you need is already living on the inside. All the resources you'll ever need are right under your nose. Have an amazing day, and I hope to see you somewhere on the internet soon. Make sure and tag me. Put this to your stories. I would love, love, love to see who is listening and where you're listening so that I could also share over to my stories. I appreciate you so much for taking some time to chime in. Have an awesome day. I'll see you soon, friend.